First, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today and taking time out of your Friday afternoon to hang out with me and everyone else on here and learn about water. My name is Marilee Leslie, and I learned about this water a little over 10 years ago. And I just like to share with you just a little tiny bit about that journey for me before we get into how this water is different than all the other waters that are out there. So, a little over 10 years ago, I started a health journey, and I was really looking at different ways to be healthier. And my number one focus was on the food that I was putting into my body. And I think that you guys would all agree that when we're trying to be healthier and when we're trying to make changes, the first thing that we usually do is we look at the food that we're eating. Is it organic? Is it whole foods? Am I eating enough greens? Which is great. But the number one thing that we should really be looking at is our water, because our bodies are made of water. And I'm going to share a little graphic with you here in a second. But when I first heard about this water, which by the way, I'm going to be drinking water. I actually have 2 cups so I don't run out. And I love these giant cups because I can fill them full of water. So when I first heard about this water, it was 10 and a half years ago, and I was really skeptical at first. I had a friend that made posts on social media, and I was really not open. Sorry if you can hear my dogs barking upstairs. I was really not open to water. I was kind of like, water schmatter, this is ridiculous, this is silly, water's free. But it was when I started learning about this, and when I started, I was kind of in a desperate situation with my health, that I started looking at things that really made sense. And water, being that our bodies are made of it, was something that as I learned more, the more that I learned, the more that it made sense. And the more that I knew that I needed this, not just for me, but for my family. And I think that as you see what I'm going to share with you today, you'll understand why I'm so passionate about it and why this is something that really made sense to me. At the time, it wasn't an ideal situation to be buying something. I was a single mom. I had gone through a very unexpected divorce. My background was in the medical field for 8 years. I was an ICU technician, and I worked at a hospital, and that was kind of my background. And I did some other things as well. I have a really diverse background. But at the time, I was really struggling financially. I was also really struggling with my health. And the fact that this was something that I could get that is now so affordable for everyone is just, it makes me excited. I also get really excited to teach people about preventative health. People don't have to be in the situation that I was in. People don't have to be sick, or there's a way that you can, live healthier. And I think that sometimes we wait until there is a fire to put out. We wait until something has gone wrong to take a look at our health, when really we need to be doing everything that we can so that we can, have the best health that we can have in our situation. So I'm going to share a screen with you and share some things with you guys. Okay. So this is the chart that I saw that really makes, like, when I saw this chart, I was like, wow. I knew that my body was made of water, but when you break it down and you take a look at each area of the body, our blood, 83% water, our kidneys, 83% water. Now, our liver, 86% water. Now, let's just go into this a little bit deeper. Our liver is a filter for our blood. Our kidneys, they're another filter for our body. So it makes sense to me. Even our brain is 74.5% water. So it really made sense to me whenever I started learning about water that I should be putting the best water into my body. And it made sense that doing that could really make a big difference in my health and in others' health as well. Water is just so important. And when I very first learned about this water, one of my very first questions that I had was, where does it come from? I wanted to know why, my friend that had been posting this stuff on Facebook, why she had this machine that can sit above or below your counter that makes this awesome water. Like, where did this technology come from? So I started learning about the history of this water and how it all began. And I don't know if you have heard of the miracle waters around the world, but there are these waters where people have traveled for many, many years, thousands of years, and they go to these special places. And by the way, I had heard of this, but I didn't know that it was a real thing, that it was like an actual thing that is really out there. So that was really fascinating to me to learn that these miracle waters, these fountain of youths, they are real. So people would go, they would drink these waters from these special fountain of youths and these miracle water places. And they would have these incredible healing experiences. They would just have amazing results. But what they found was when they took that water away from the source, that it wasn't as effective. And so, one second here. So they really needed to get the water fresh. So it took the Japanese 20 years to mimic these waters, to create this technology that created these waters. And what made these waters really different and what set them apart was that they were abundant in active hydrogen, which we're going to talk about in a second. It's actually a major antioxidant for your body, really helpful with inflammation and anti-aging. Those are all really awesome things. And it was also alkaline as well. So that is how this water came about. So this is how this Japanese technology works. First, the very first goal is to make sure that the water is clean. Make sure that we're taking out the contaminants, but that we're leaving in the good minerals that your body needs, the calcium, the magnesium, the potassium. So sometimes this requires pre-filtration, depending on what area that you live in. Sometimes it doesn't. So, so we clean up the water first. There's also inside the machine, which, by the way, if you do get pre-filtration, that can be customized to your water. Then the water goes through a double carbon antibacterial filter inside the machine. And then that water travels over 8 solid titanium plates, and those plates are electroplated with platinum. Something else that is really important are these plates are 5 by 7 in size. They're very large in size. And when those plates are charged up through the machine's power supply, which, by the way, I just want to make a note here and let you know that our machines use the same power supply as military aircraft uses. My dad is actually an aircraft mechanic. And so that was one of the things that he was really impressed with, was the consistent power supply that we're using. It's a transformer with an SMPS regulator. So these plates are charged up. And when this happens, more hydrogen is pulled towards the top of the machine and more oxygen is pulled towards the bottom of the machine. So it's making hydrogen-rich drinking water, and oxygenated cleaning waters, which I'm going to tell you about in a second here. But um, the machine actually makes 7 different waters, and it sounds complicated, but it's so simple. Literally, you push a button and it makes the water that of the button that you push. So it's very simple to use this machine. That is a very quick overview of how this technology works. We do have other products besides the drinking water machines. We have an industrial unit called the Super 501. We have a shower unit as well that brings minerals from a spring from Hokkaido, Japan, and it literally makes a mineral hot spring for your shower and gives you clean water to shower in and bathe in, and amazing properties. It's like having a spring in your home, like a mineral hot spring. We also have an incredible turmeric product. But today we're not going to talk about those. If you want to learn more about those, get with the person that invited you here today and they can give you more information about that. We're going to focus on the K8 and the SD501, and those are the 2 most popular machines. They're not the most expensive ones that we have. They're just the ones that are the most popular and that make the waters that we're going to talk about today. So let me tell you, we're going to jump into how these waters are different. Before we do, I just want to get some documentation stuff out of the way and tell you just a little bit about this company, which to me, it speaks volumes. This company is 46 years old. They have literally had 46 years to perfect this technology. They also are endorsed by the Japanese Association of Preventative Medicine for Adult Disease. Let me tell you what that means and why that's so amazing and awesome. What that is, the Japanese Association of Preventative Medicine for Adult Disease. It's a group of doctors. They are the top doctors in Japan. There's 6,600 of them, and they come together and they decide what is going to help keep our people living the longest and the healthiest. What products can we endorse that's going to contribute to their better health? They only endorse one thing from each category. Guess what water they endorse? Our water. The only water that they endorse. And I absolutely love that. We do not pay them to endorse it. One thing about Enagic is that all of our endorsements, even we have a lot of really high profile people that drink this water, including, I know it's been a minute since the Super Bowl happened, but I cannot stop talking about it because Tom Brady is a boss and has won 1 million Super Bowl rings. And he loves this water, has pictures of him on his Instagram and videos of him making his protein shakes with this water. And I think it's made a big difference in his career. There's a lot of high profile people that talk about this water and talk about how much they love it. But guess what? They don't get paid 1 dime to endorse it. This company has a very simple Japanese philosophy that if you like this product, then they're not going to pay you to say that you like it. You'll say that you like it because you like it. So that is something that sets us apart from other companies that are out there. I'm going to tell you about just 2 certifications of the many that they have that mean the most to me. This one is ISO 13485, and it means that internationally our machines are a medical device. I use this certificate whenever I take my water through TSA. Our water, it's the only water that you can get through TSA. It is medical grade water, and I just got back from Florida. I loved not only taking my machine with me so that I could have this water with me where I stayed, but I love the fact that I can take a gallon of water through the airport so we can be drinking good water while we're traveling on long flights. So that's pretty cool. I love that we have this certification. We are the only water ionizer that has that certification and this next certification that I'm going to share with you, the only one. This next one, it speaks volumes. It is the WQA certification, Water Quality Association. Let me tell you about the WQA. They are the largest third-party water testing facility in the organization in the entire world. You cannot go to Home Depot and buy a water softener or a water heater without it having this little stamp that you see on this paper, basically showing that it is safe for you to bathe in that water, that there's no chemicals from the plastics or from the tanks or heavy metals. To me, this should be on every single drinking water system, because I would not drink from anything that did not have this gold seal certification. And it's crazy to me that we're the only one that has it, but it's not surprising because we will jump through all the hoops and we are willing to prove what we say to get the certification. They do things, I like to say, they make us put our money where our mouth is. We say that these machines last for 25 years. And to test the longevity, they run these machines through so many cycles and so many hours at a high PSI. And they test the first gallon's quality against the last gallon's quality. They do things like soak the machine in a solution, and they're testing this for any chemicals from the plastics, anything, any heavy metals. And we don't cut corners on our machines, even down to the hoses of our machines. We have embedded colloidal silver to resist mold and bacteria growth, which is really awesome. I share these with you because there are a lot of knockoff machines out there. And by knockoff, I mean they're not the same machine. They have a very cheap power supply and plates that are smaller than a deck of cards. And they are marketed online for $2,000 to $3,000 when you could really buy it direct from the manufacturer from this knockoff manufacturing facility for $200 to $300. Their markup is insane. They mark up over 500%. Our markup, we are very transparent about. It's 56% markup. So we are very ethical about our certifications and everything we have. A lot of the certifications that are on these knockoff companies' websites, they're not even real, or they don't really even mean anything, or they've given themselves some kind of award, which is really funny to me. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on or energy on those. I just like to share that with people because I do come across people that buy knockoff machines and they think that it's the real thing. So to buy this machine, you do have to buy it from someone that is licensed to distribute these machines, someone that has that authority. So just keep that in mind as well. Okay, let's shift a little bit and let's talk about our bodies. Our bodies were designed to be self-healing. We can all agree, though, that there's current lifestyles that create these roadblocks that keep us from having the optimal health that we could have. There's even environmental things that are beyond our control that keep us from having that great health. What I love about this water is that it really assists the body in that healing process. It does not cure, we do not make any medical claims, but what it does do is it allows our body to do things that it was supposed to do. Now, before we get into this, if you're listening and you're really Western medicine minded or Eastern medicine minded, I just want to assure you, or now there's functional medicine as well, that either way, this is going to make sense. It's water. I have now, if you're wondering what Eastern medicine is or what Western medicine is, Eastern is more of a natural, holistic approach. And Western medicine is an allopathic, more of a pharmaceutical approach, treating symptoms with medications. So, and functional is a little bit of both. So either way, it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on. I have customers that are, I have a neurosurgeon, very Western medicine minded. I have an orthopedic surgeon that's a customer of mine. I have naturopath doctors, engineers. It doesn't matter where you're at about what your opinion is on medicine. We all drink water. And so this makes sense, however your feelings are about that. However, I'm going to share this really quickly. And this is, it looks like my picture of Corinne isn't showing up. Go figure. I'll have to fix that slide when we're done. But I wanted to share this. I learned this information here on the slide from Dr. Corinne Allen, and she has a PhD in nutrition, and she has been a natural health practitioner for over 30 years. And she talks about how depression and dehydration are connected. And I never would have thought about this. Now, just so you know, I am not saying that that if you are, suffering from depression, that it can just be fixed and you're just dehydrated. I'm not saying that at all. But I was I was just so fascinated to learn this about the brain. She talks about how when our brain is chronically dehydrated, how its function overall starts to suffer. And our brains need tryptophan, and tryptophan is an amino acid. That's used to make serotonin, which is that happy chemical that our brain produces naturally. That in turn makes the melatonin, and that's the sleepy chemical that your body creates on its own as well, that your brain creates. Now, have you ever heard that when someone is going through depression, that their sleep is off as well? So this really spoke to me. I was like, wow, this is really fascinating. So dehydration, it can really affect not just our own, our physical body, but it can affect our mental health as well. There are three different things that make this water, three distinct properties that make this water different than other waters that are out there. And I want to move to the part where we share that those properties with you guys so you can see the difference for yourself. The very first property is hands down my absolute favorite one. And this is the antioxidant property. Our bodies are oxidating all the time. They're aging. They are, they literally you have oxidation, which affects the living tissue of the body, and over time can cause sickness. It can cause accelerated aging. The idea is you want to give your body antioxidants to combat that free radical damage from the oxidation that's naturally occurring. And doing that can reduce inflammation in your body. It can also slow down the aging process. How many of you would just be so excited if you knew that you were doing something that could prevent sickness and diseases, and maybe even delay the onset of it if you were, going to get them? That would be exciting, right? Well, so to me, this is the gold of the water. There's a way that you can measure whether something is an oxidant or an antioxidant. And by the way, a great way to describe oxidation, if you see someone and they are 65 and they look like they're 85 or 75, that is oxidation at its finest. I personally am 40, and I like to think that I look a little younger because of this awesome, amazing water that I've been drinking for the last 10 years. So this, let me just show you this graph here. This way to measure how oxidating something is. And by the way, there's a lot of things that can accelerate the oxidation process in our body as well. There's lifestyle choices and different things that we do, that even things that are environmental that we have no control over. But one thing that we have control over is the water that we put into our body. Is it oxidating or is it an antioxidant? You'll see there's a lot of buzzwords about antioxidants and water, but on this meter that I have, if the number on this meter is positive, the more positive it is, the more oxidating it is for your body. Now, let me just be clear, any positive number is oxidating. Now, if there is a negative sign on that meter, and the more negative it is, the more of an antioxidant it is. So this is the only time that positive is bad and negative is good. So I actually have a little video that I'm gonna play. Now I'm gonna warn you, I recorded this video when it was all like, we were all quarantined, and I made another video today, but I haven't got it up yet. So we're gonna play this one. I go over a lot of different waters here. And I was doing a webinar, and there was a lot of people that requested these different waters. So so we're gonna go ahead and show you this quick video. Now, before we start, Dasani has additives added to it. It's not just RO water. It has magnesium sulfate, which actually makes you more thirsty. It also has salt added to it as well, and potassium chloride. Aquafina, that we're going to test second, that's just straight RO water. Life water, that one has magnesium sulfate in it too, which increases your thirst. It also has potassium bicarbonates in it, because it is marketed as an alkaline water. So literally the only thing that makes it alkaline is the baking soda property that is in it. They have Core Health, that's an RO water with ingredients. That one also has bicarbonates in it too, to make it more alkaline. Okay, so let me get this to where you can see it. So we have the Dasani, that's in the positive 300s. Now this is always going to be in a range. So that's the positive 300s. We have Aquafina, this is in the positive 300s as well, just a touch lower. We have Life Water. This is also in the positive 300s. Usually when you have reverse osmosis waters, I'm not going to lift this one up because it's like, you guys can see it, it's core water. This is also in the 300s. I don't want it to spill on my computer. So that's in the positive 300s. And when you have a reverse osmosis water, those waters are going to be in the positive 200 to 300 range. That is oxidating to your body. Let's go ahead and move on to Smart Water. Smart Water has bicarbonates in it as well. And this is also in the positive 200 to 300 range that we have here. And we have an antioxidant water here. This is called Bolt 24. So this is also in the positives. This is measuring around positive 260. Marketed as an antioxidant, and that is clearly an oxidant. Part of my dog's barking in the background, by the way. You gotta love life. This is real life. Fancy. Sorry, she sees her friends outside. She really wants to play, but we're quarantining. Okay, this is the Karma Wellness Water. This was requested. This one was hard to get. This one was hard for me to find. This is marketed as an antioxidant, and the ingredients in this is insane. It many ingredients. The second one is cane sugar. Actually, sorry. The second one is citric acid. The third one is cane sugar. And then it goes into a whole bunch of ingredients. There is nothing wellness about this water. So I'm sorry for the person that requested this. It's very positive.
Let's go to Essentia. This should go down just a little bit. We're okay. So this tests out around the same as reverse osmosis water. This is in the positive 2 to 300 range. This basically claims to be ionized water, but it actually has baking soda that they add to it. And they also market it to be alkaline. You guys, the only thing that makes this alkaline is the fact that there's baking soda that's added to it. That's it. We have Voss sparkling water here. This is in the positive 300s as well. This is 375, 380, around that range. And then we have Defiance Fuel. This is like marketed as an antioxidant workout fuel water. And this is in the 390s, almost in the, oh, yep, we reached 400. So this is really oxidizing for your body, really oxidating. It also is marketed to be pH balanced. You see a marketing trend going on here? Okay, then we have LaCroix. LaCroix is a very popular water. You guys, this is in the 500s, in the late 4 to 500s. This is pretty crazy. Like, this is so oxidating. Okay, let's show you what soda is. Soda, okay, sorry, had to let my dog in. So we have soda, which is in the 500s. 530. So this is soda is so oxidizing for your body. And then we have the Kangen water. Immediately it turns to negative. Immediately. It's going all the way up into the 800s. Negative 827. This is such a big let's just go back to soda for a second. I want you to see how fast this changes. This goes immediately to positive. And if we let this sit here for a couple of seconds, it's going to go all the way up into the 500s. Oh, I have hair in my face. It's going to go all the way up into the 500s. Now watch this. Immediately, it goes to negative 800. You guys, this is so powerful. To be drinking something that is 10 times of a greater antioxidant than green tea. To be drinking something that one glass is equivalent to 5 pounds of blueberries. That's how many antioxidants are in one glass of this water.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Like, that gets me so excited. The fact that I am putting into my body something that is reducing inflammation, something that is that strong of an antioxidant, it's exciting to me. So let's talk about the second property of the water, and that is the pH of the water. Oh, let me go back here. Okay, so the pH is a measurement that determines the acidity or alkalinity of a substance or solution. Now our blood maintains its own pH. And whenever I very first started learning about this water, my initial thoughts were, well, our blood maintains its own pH. Does it really matter what we're putting into it? And that's when I learned a little bit more. So this is, by the way, a pH chart that I'm showing you. So if your blood is maintaining its pH at 7.2, 7.3, that's the homeostasis that your blood maintains. If you're only putting in acidic things into our body, which, by the way, I just want to say, we have an acidic world that we live in, down to the air that we breathe that causes acidity in the body. The food that we eat, from meat, is very acidic. Dairy products, sugar, chocolate, I know it's so acidic. So we have all these things, right, that are really acidic. Well, if you're adding onto that acidic water, what your body is going to do is it's going to rob Peter to pay Paul. It's going to actually be stealing alkalinity from the alkaline stores in your body, from different organs that have different pHs, from your teeth, from your bones. And that causes overall acidity of the body. So that's just a little bit more information about that. There are, I actually have a little video that I'm going to play for you, and my friend Ashley made this really cool video. And on this video, the more she has pH drops, and she's going to add them to these waters that she has. And every water that she has represents a different water. So Dasani and Aquafina are reverse osmosis waters. Propel, that represents all of your sports drinks out there, your Gatorades and all of those waters. Sprite represents your soda. And then she has the Kangen water, and it's going to change colors based on what pH it is. And I want you to take a look at the very end at what soda does. Oh my goodness, it's gonna blow your mind. We're gonna break some soda drinkers' hearts out there. So let's go ahead and play this quick video for you guys.
Just pH drops like you would test your pool, or anything you're wanting to test the pH of a liquid. If you look at the pH chart, it's about a 4, and then typically pop and sports drinks are right in between a 3 and a 4 pH. When you got your Kangen, this is actually the 9.5 water, but the machine can make 8.5, 9, or 9.5 so that you don't detox too quickly. A fun little trick I want to show you guys is I pulled the Kangen water here. Let's say you've been drinking bottled water for a long time, and you're like, okay, well, how long could it take for the water to kind of help my body? Well, I drink Kangen, drinking the Kangen water. But you guys, sports drinks and sodas are so acidic. It actually takes 32 glasses of Kangen water just to neutralize one soda. Check this out. Take the soda, take the Kangen. One sip.
Wow. So isn't that crazy? So a lot of times we don't even know that what we're drinking is really acidic. And so that is the second property of this water. It is alkaline, but it also is a safe alkalinity for our body. There is that marketing trend going on, which I talked about in the very first video, where water's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and we have been around for 46 years. We have a lot of imitators and a lot of people trying to ride on our coattails and make a buck off of what we have done and try to make it look like it's the same as our waters. But these waters, they add baking soda to them. That's what makes them alkaline, and it causes your stomach to actually produce more acid to counteract that bicarbonate of the baking soda that is in that water. So not only does it cause digestive issues, but with those fake alkaline waters, you have the ability to get too alkaline. We recently had a girl that was pregnant, and she had been drinking over a gallon of water a day of alkaline store-bought waters. And she didn't usually stick to a specific brand, but she was drinking over a gallon a day. Well, she actually got too alkaline and was admitted to the hospital with alkalosis. And that can happen from drinking these fake alkaline waters. And, the only thing is they're alkaline, but it's not necessarily a good thing. It's just a chemical change that the water has gone through. It's not a real antioxidant, as we described before. So what I love about this water is that it is a safe alkalinity, and it doesn't even absorb the same as regular water. And it does not affect your digestive system. In fact, though, I'm going ahead. Sorry. This next property that I'm going to show you a quick video on, you'll hear a lot of people refer to this property as microclustering. What they're referring to is that this water is hydrogen rich, and it is literally, it hydrates you so much better, so much differently than regular water. And this property is why I can drink over a gallon of water a day. I can drink water even while I'm going on runs or working out. and not feel sick or get side aches or feel sloshy or bloated when I'm drinking this water. So let's go ahead and play this next video where it kind of shares with you how this water absorbs differently in the body.
This is my absolute favorite. So you see this Lipton green tea bag? We want this to represent your body. Now, this is not some major scientific experiment. It's just a cool idea so you can see the better hydration and detoxification. So we'll put the tea bag in there. I want you to pretend like you're drinking Dasani all day and you're trying to get yourself hydrated. This is really important for athletes. It's really important for dealing with brain fog. And of course, with the detoxification, it's really important for losing weight and for feeling better because toxins will even get a little help there. Toxins sit in our cells, and if you can't get them out with your water, what did my skeptical husband say? He said, well, that's not fair. The tea bag was already wet, right? But isn't that cool? That's showing you the superior hydration, better detoxification of your cells. But just so you know that we weren't, cheating, and it wasn't because the tea bag was already wet. We'll go back to the Dasani. You know how when you feel really bloated or your stomach feels really full and sloshy with bottled water or tap water, you're drinking a lot of water? It's because it's sitting in your stomach and not actually absorbing into the intestines. To give you a little dose of science, the Kangen water, between the good alkaline minerals and the antioxidant, it can open your pyloric valve and go straight into the intestines. We actually have the top colon doctor in the world, Dr. Hiromi Shinya. He created the polyposcopy and helped create the colonoscopy. And this is why he recommends Kangen water as the main beverage to drink, because the Kangen water absorbs the tea better. That's showing you how you can absorb your nutrients better and how you can get waste and toxins out of your cells better. It's a pretty cool representation.
Wow. So awesome. I love that property. And she was talking about the top colon doctor in the world. I just wanted to share this with you. So she mentioned his name, that his name was Dr. Hiromi Shinya, and he is very well known for inventing the colonoscopy. He actually co-inventing the colonoscopy and inventing the polypectomy snare. And one thing that I love this book that he has. It's called The Enzyme Factor. It was one of the very first books that really gave credibility to me for the water, because I was very Western medicine minded. I really liked the fact that this doctor has a degree in Eastern medicine and in Western medicine. One thing that really impressed me about Dr. Shinya was that he puts his patients on this water, and that they can't even get on his schedule unless they've been drinking this water for 45 days. He says it's a waste of his time. And that spoke volumes to me. Something else that he makes a very bold claim about in the very first page of his book is he shares that out of all of his cancer patients, that he has a 0% recurrence rate of any kind of cancer. And I thought to myself, well, that is a very bold claim to make. And he credits a lot of different things to this statistic that he has. And it's an amazing statistic that he has. And one of the pieces to that puzzle is this water. I'm not saying that it is all this water, but there's pieces to, the health puzzle. And this is a pretty big piece, being that our body is made of water. I have loved soaking up the knowledge that he has put out there and learning. He talks about how we absorb our nutrients through our colon. And this was something that I also struggled with, is nutrient absorption in the past. So he talks about how if waste is coating the walls of our colon, then it's really difficult for the nutrients to enter into the bloodstream and to be carried throughout our body and utilized. And the reason why this is because the walls of our colon are negatively charged. And the waste from the food that we eat is positively charged. Therefore, it bonds to the walls of the colon and keeps those nutrients from being entering into the bloodstream. However, the Kangen water is negatively charged. So it's actually pulling waste away from the walls of the colon, not only helping keeping you regular, which I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but hey, it's a really cool thing. And there's way more people that struggle with it than they will ever admit. But it is one of the first things that a lot of people will say that they notice right away. It's like, oh my gosh, I am like regular. So it not only does that, but it also helps with your gut health and your nutrient absorption. And I just found that to be really fascinating to learn about that. Okay, so let's just talk about what drinking enough water can do and what a lot of people have found that drinking this water has done for them. They find that they don't have as many headaches because, a lot of headaches, guess what one of the first signs of a headache is, beside of dehydration is? It's a headache. You have fatigue and headache. Those are two big symptoms, and thirst. So a lot of people are just dehydrated, and they find a reduction in headaches, especially if they get them regularly. They find that their mood is improved. And I talked about why that would be earlier. They find that they don't have as much of fatigue. And these are things that happen slowly over time. This isn't, you guys, like when it says on here, it boosts your energy levels, you are not given a Red Bull, right? This is water. And it's a gradual and lasting change. It's amazing. And we already talked about how it can help relieve constipation, and how, with that last property that I shared with you, how it can flush out toxins. And in doing that, that can help us regulate our body temperature more as we are more hydrated, and reduce inflammation. When you're reducing inflammation, a lot of people find that things like back pain goes away, and that their complexion improves as they're also flushing out those toxins. It helps boost your immune system. If you're dehydrated, your immune system will definitely suffer. Preventing kidney stones is something that I absolutely love, love, love about this water, and helps promote weight loss as well as improves digestion. So, oh my goodness. And there's more. I got to tell you guys about the different waters that this machine makes. This machine makes the different waters. The first waters that I want to tell you about are the drinking waters that people drink all the time. The formula is you want to drink 1/2 ounce to 1 ounce per pound of your body weight, but I always tell people, don't overthink it, just try to drink 1 gallon a day. It says right here that it's best on an empty stomach, but guess what? All water is best on an empty stomach, not just this water. Usually people start at 8.5. That's the lower level that the machine makes, level number 1. Then after 3 to 5 days, they move to 9.0. That's level 2. And level 3 is 9.5. And that is what me, my dogs, my grandson, my kids, everyone, that's what we all drink for, forever and ever. The reason why you go gradually up is because the water does detox you, and it does it slowly. The idea is to feel better, not feel worse. So that's why you just do it slowly. Then it has a 7.0 clean water button, and this water is for time-released medications. So if you're on maybe something that you don't want to work better, faster, or stronger, you would take it with that 7.0 water, like maybe a heart medication or something, and then you would wait about 15 to 20 minutes, and then you could continue drinking the other anti-inflammatory waters. It makes a 6.0 beauty water. This water is amazing. I love this water. I use it every single day. It tones and tightens the skin, helps your skin retain moisture and elasticity. It helps also even out your skin tone and make your pores smaller. So it is amazing. My kids also call this lotion water. It seriously is what, it's just so good for dry skin. This machine, it also makes a water that is, it's on the machine, it's the 2.5 button. And this is also known as hypochlorous acid. If you were to look up hypochlorous acid, this is what your machine, or your machine, I'm assuming you have a machine. This is what the machine that you're going to go to, this is what it makes. So let me tell you how incredible this is and how amazing it is to have on tap. This is my Lysol on tap. This is my disinfectant. This has a 30-second kill ratio on MRSA, staph, E. coli, salmonella, strep. It even kills C. diff. It's amazing. So literally, this is what I'm disinfecting my bathroom with, the air with, if someone comes over and I feel like they were coughing everywhere. This is what I use to disinfect my counters when I'm cooking with raw meats, or my cutting boards, my toilets, this is my disinfectant. However, this is also amazing for skin conditions. Now you might be thinking, strong acidic on the skin, that sounds a little intense, but it actually is the opposite. It promotes healing. It's so awesome for skin conditions: psoriasis, folliculitis, rashes, acne, burns, fungus, warts, dermatitis, eczema, athlete's feet. It is so amazing to have something like this on tap. So super awesome. Let's go to the next water. Oh, before I do that, let me just show you some examples of what eczema has done. This was after 2 weeks that this person of using the 2.5, and then they were also drinking the 9.5 as well. This was a friend's child, and this was after 3 weeks. They had eczema all over in different areas, and they had tried everything. And they wanted to get their child off of these steroids that kept, kept having to go stronger in strength because they stopped working, and they also thin out the skin. So amazing for eczema, and my own children have had amazing experiences. This is, I just get so excited every time I share this. I've had a lot of people that have used this for staph and MRSA infections, and they've had amazing, phenomenal results. Again, disclaimer, I can't promise anything, but I can tell you about other people's experiences. This is a little boy who had a staph infection on his nose, and they were looking at removing his nose. They were going to literally take his nose, because once the staph hits his sinuses, and it can travel to his brain and kill him. So they decided, this little boy had a neighbor that had a machine, and they decided to try it. And they heard about really cool experiences. Look just from day 1 to day 3. That is amazing. It's just so exciting. So needless to say, this surgeon, and by the way, I have permission from the family and the surgeon to share this. The surgeon not only has a machine now and has this water, but he's a huge advocate of this water. So pretty cool, exciting stuff. The last water that the machine makes is called 11.5. This is made when you press the 2.5 button. It will come out of the top of your machine, and the 2.5 comes out of the bottom because it's splitting the waters. This is my laundry soap on tap. You heard me right. Some people are like, how in the world is this your laundry soap? I fill up a quart of it. I pour it into my laundry. I'll add 2 quarts if it's my boy's laundry and it's really stinky. And I'm telling you what, it is just such an amazing, it's so amazing to have laundry soap on tap. I also like to use essential oils for a smell, to have them smell. And it also is my degreaser on tap. This is the best oven cleaner. It's so amazing to clean grime, clean carpets. It just is like your all-purpose cleaner and stain remover. One of the things that I love to use it for, it's probably my favorite use of this water besides laundry, is taking the pesticides off of my food. And I seriously, let me just show you guys. This is a picture of some strawberries that we cleaned with the, on the left, we cleaned it with filtered water because, by the way, did you know that cleaning your vegetables and your fruit with tap water, that chlorine and all the chemicals in there, they soak into your food. You eat them. So the idea is we use the 11.5. It is very strong in its cleaning power, and it takes off the oil-based pesticides that are on the food. The pesticides that are designed to stay on the food no matter what. So it takes off those pesticides and leaves you with clean food that tastes better and lasts longer. Now, pesticides are terrible. And let me just tell you how shocked I was to learn that the second leading ingredient in most pesticides is a chemical that was banned in household cleaners in the 90s because it causes cancer just by even breathing it in, and we're eating it. We are literally eating it. The regulations on pesticides are just so awful. They are just almost non-existent to me. So I love that I'm able to take that pesticides off of my food and have my vegetables last longer. This is a study that I love to share. This was a 20-year independent study, and I'm moving to like sort of the cleaning aspect of this water and going green, not having to buy household chemicals anymore. This study was shown that using household cleaners as little as once a week is as damaging for your lungs as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day for 20 years. So I love that I can hand my kids a spray bottle and that I have filled up. I don't have to go to the store and buy those things and say, hey, like, go clean the bathroom, you know, or we're going to clean the floors. And I love also adding essential oils as well to have those smell, just to have a nice, cool smell to them. Because I'm a big smell person. Okay. Cooking with this water, by the way, with the drinking waters is amazing. It just seriously is so good for your food, faster cooking time, and it's just really helps bring out the flavor. Now, before we get to the price, I'm sure that you guys are like, Marilee, hold on a second. We have a machine that lasts for 25 years. It replaces household cleaners, disinfectants, laundry soap, skincare stuff, anti-aging serums, and water. Like, how much is this? Well, don't freak out and don't panic because it's actually very, very affordable. And what you're going to find is that you're spending it anyways. So if you were to add up all the bottled drinks and beverages that you purchase each week, and you were to add up all the money that you're spending on all these other things that the machine makes, you would, I'm sure, be saving money. There was a family of 4 that did the math on this. It's really cool. And I have this on a spreadsheet. If you want the spreadsheet, reach out to me. I can share it with you. It's really cool. And he listed everything that he replaced with this machine. And what he found was that he was saving $250 a month. Now, I've had this machine for 10 years. I am just blown away at how much money I have saved my family. You know, I have children, and how much healthier we are 10 years later. So that I get really, really excited about that. So let's talk about the machines, which, by the way, I'll just share. This is my mother's machine. You can hook them up in many different ways. The machine comes with a diverter that hooks onto different faucets, but there's many ways to customize them. This is how my mother has customized her machine. She has a little faucet on the side and a little water source, and mine looks a little bit different than this. But the good news is that you can customize them however you want. And let me just show you, these are the most popular machines that we have. and I'm going to tell you the differences. Um, and the price as well. We're going to talk about that. So the SD501, we'll start with that one. That was my very first machine that I got. It's an amazing machine. Now this machine makes all the waters that we talked about today. There are 7 plates inside of this machine. It's a phenomenal machine. It's a workhorse. It makes a gallon a minute, as well as the other machines that we have up here. Now this machine outright, you can buy it for $39.80. However, there are our most different payment plans that we offer, and our most popular payment plan is $42 a month. And right now that is 0% interest for 2 months. So pretty exciting. Now there are different payment plans for different circumstances. So reach out to the person that invited you here if you have more questions about that. The second machine is the SD501 Platinum. That machine has 4 more languages than the SD501. So there's 5 languages that it speaks. It's kind of fun to put the machine in Italian. It's a beautiful language. This machine is literally the exact same as the SD501. The exact same. The only difference is that it speaks those 5 languages, and it also is silver. So it has that beautiful stainless steel look, but it's not actually stainless steel. So you're not going to have that weight of the stainless steel. That one is $42.80, or the payment plan that the most popular is around $45 to $46. Now, granted, these numbers could change a little bit with taxes, that payment plan number. When you move to the K8, that machine, the K8, has some more bells and whistles on it. So with this one, there is, you can actually purchase different power cords depending on the country that you might be going to. So literally the power supply will automatically convert to any country in the entire world. It's so smart. This one also has a touch screen, which is really popular right now. This one also has a water conserving feature as well. This one has 8 plates inside the machine instead of 7. And so it makes stronger waters. And it speaks 8 languages. Now, the reason why this machine is probably the most popular machine that we have, that I help people get in their kitchens today, is not because it speaks 8 languages and because someone's going to travel across the country, or the water conserving feature even, but it really is because it just makes the strongest waters. It makes slightly stronger waters than the other 2 machines that I'm sharing with you. They're all amazing machines, and you cannot go wrong. Most people, they just, if you're going to make a purchase that's going to last you for 25 years, a lot of people just choose the K8, but they're all amazing machines. Now, the K8 is $49.80 or $52 a month. Now, I just want you to think about how much you have spent in iPhones for your family for the last 5 years, 10 years. Like when I think about that, I'm like, oh my goodness, I have spent so much money in iPhones, iPads, furniture, appliances. And this appliance lasts for 25 years. It's just, when I think about the number one thing that should be so important in my home, and we don't even blink an eye sometimes when we get these flat screen TVs or the latest iPhone on a payment plan, and we don't even think about it. We just do it, right? Maybe you're not that person, but I find that true with a lot of people that I speak to, and then they kind of hesitate when they look at something like this. I just want to remind you, like, this is your health. And this is going to be something that will help you save money. So I don't know if I mentioned the price of this one. It's $49.80 or $52 a month. And why do you imagine that you were offered a subscription for, we'll just say the middle one, $45 a month, you are offered to get delivered to your door the best antioxidant rich water, as much as you want of it, and even enough to share with friends and family that you care about. The best organic disinfectant and degreasers and laundry soap and anti-aging toner and all the different things that this water makes. If you were offered a subscription, $45 a month, to have that delivered to your door, and you would be like, sign me up. Like, I don't know anyone that would be like, oh, that's not, I don't know if that's a good deal. That's what this box is. It literally is something that it will be your most used kitchen appliance. So with that being said, I just want to share that this water has completely changed my life. I am a huge advocate now for health and for preventative health. And I love that this is so affordable that anyone can have this in their kitchen. And if you like what you saw here today, I just want you to reach out to the person that invited you here. And I want you to tell them where you're at with this. No one wants to be your solicitor friend. So I just want you to tell them, on a scale of 1 to 3. 1, you're not interested at all, but you'll let them know if you're ever interested in the future. Number 2 is that, hey, I really like this and I need more information about, maybe a payment plan, or I want to learn more about, the machine itself, or try the water. And number 3 is, hey, I need this in my kitchen yesterday. So let them know where you're at. And I just want to thank you guys for joining me here today. And oops, I did not mean to do that. I was going on the wrong one. Hold on. Let me just try to stop my broadcast here. Okay, there we go. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today and taking time out of your afternoon to learn about this water. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope that you guys have an amazing weekend. Bye, everybody.